The government regulations are the biggest threat to growth, your survey says. What specifically?
Well, it's very interesting. As you know, the survey has been released this morning, and the manufacturing sector is very important to the U.S. economy. In fact, it represents about 12% of our gross domestic product and supports over 17.5 million jobs. And while the participants in the survey are optimistic, they're optimistic about their sales and profitability over the next 12 months. Something that is a concern to them relates to government regulation. And it tops the lists of concern. And the top government regulation that was on the list was the implementation of the Affordable Care Act. That has been something that has been on the minds of many executives over the last 12 months. And they are concerned that that will limit the growth that they're experiencing right now.
They're experiencing growth in sales, they're confident about the outlook, but is that transferring to hiring intentions, Karen?
Yes, it is. As manufacturers are seeing growth in their business, also what's happening is they're expanding their workforce. Nearly 2/3 of the participants in the survey are planning to expand their workforce this year at an average rate of 6%, which is good news because we've been doing the survey for a while, and last year that number was 4%. So manufacturers are adding jobs, which is a great indication of the economic recovery that's happening. And as we add more jobs, that is a good thing for the U.S. economy.
Can we rewind? And can you just explain to me why the provision of more affordable health care for wider swathes of the American population and the public would be an impediment to growth?
That's a very good question. There's been a lot of media coverage on the Affordable Health Care Act, and also with the implementation of it, there's a lot of uncertainty around it. As you know, all the regulations haven't come out yet. So in terms of implementing the Affordable Care Act, there is some uncertainty on exactly the impact it's going to have on the business. So I think that was the reasoning behind the concern of the executives. But what's interesting is while it was listed as a large impediment or a potential impediment to growth, over 70% of the participants are planning to be in full compliance with the Affordable Care Act, meaning that they're not going to go down the path of not offering coverage and paying a penalty or a tax. So while they're concerned about it, they're going to comply with it. Understood. And I think that relates to the competition in the workforce for manufacturing jobs. We have a skill shortage in the United States.